Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you're having an awesome Tuesday. Thank you for joining us for what is going to be our final broadcast of the week. As many of you already know, and for those of you who don't, I'm taking the next 3 days off, going out of town, heading out to Colorado for some music and some hiking. Really looking forward to a little vacation out there. So this will be the final show of the week, but we will be back on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time next week. So make sure you tune in for that. In the meantime, let's get this show started with our roll call. Jump into chat wherever you're watching and say hello. I see MAGA for Life, Q-Oys, B. Frazier, and Silebor out there. Good to see you guys over on D Live. And of course, let's check in with the Comfy Bunker, see who's all chatting over here on pilled.net, the exclusive place for the second half of today's and everyday's show. So find your way over there if you're not familiar. Curious one, Jenny in there first. What's up, Lyle? What's up, Jenny? Good to see you. Lightsphere Lance, welcome. Delia, yes, early today indeed. Esther G13, thank you for the shades. Just have a fun and safe trip, Adel. So happy for you. Thank you for the shades. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited for the next few days. I've been looking forward to it since the springtime. D. Richard in the house. Great to see you. Let's see who else. Who else? HL Paco. There's Joe Elaine doing her mod thing, keeping everything super comfy for us. Thank you, Joe. And Due Diligence, Floyd. Great to see you, my friend. R. Harrell in the house. What's up? Pip's mom checking in from across the pond, Wales, UK. Good to see you. Barb Robbins, welcome. King Chris in the house. Good to see you, Chris. And Too Quick. Facts Not Fear. What's up, guys? Cynthia, Truth Teller 101. Snow Bunny 68. Disco Daphne's out there. What's up, Daphne? Hope you're having a good one. Fazic and the Gray Man, welcome you guys. Floyd with a taco, a 7-pound super stuffed family size taco with all the fixins cookie, a 7-pound super stuffed taco. That could feed like 2 families, Floyd. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the generosity as always. Don Ritchie, 17. Good to see you. Mr. Gerardo, good afternoon, sir. Hope you're well. Boys Blanc says leaving for the Island Cottage tomorrow. Yippee. Enjoy your time away as I am going to enjoy mine. Boys Blanc. Laura Y repping the 412. Good to see you, Laura. Also repping the 412 is 2A Freedom Rider. Let's go, guys. Good to see you guys both out there. We got Cali Patriot 14. 2A Freedom Rider says, let's go with some shades. Thank you for that, 2A. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see. Bender 2NQ1, Lucy Anders, Smoked 78. Welcome, you guys. Bender 2NQ1, thank you for the cookie. Lord Mad Dog, Mad Joker, welcome. Good to see you guys. KC Powwow, Christopoo, Ellie Freedom. Hope you guys are having a good day. Tweety 52. Good to see Roy Stones and Bones over on the West Coast. Paul Thaddeus. Ina says, enjoy your trip. Thank you for the cookie, Ina. Trust me, I will. Very much looking forward to it. Sucka Q out there. Good to see you. And Pat McFly. Floyd says, got a recipe for beer brats for you to try. All right, awesome. Send it my way, sir. Chops, ITMC, and thank you for the cookie, Floyd. Good to see you, Chops. Lil Puggy Girl. Good to see you. You saw it here. Welcome. Yeah, feels like a Friday show, even though it's Tuesday. I'm not gonna lie, I am very unfocused, unprepared, and yeah, just kind of my mind is in a bunch of places right now. I'll do my best to keep my eye on the ball for the next hour and a half or so. Probably will cut off today's show a bit short because I got a ton of stuff that still needs to get done before I leave. I gotta be ready to leave the house at 4 a.m. tomorrow to catch my flight. So it's just been kind of a mad dash to the finish line here. But we'll hang out and get into as much as we need to before I pack it up and say goodbye. PNW Sasquatch, good to see you. Rye Guy for life. Braves Piano, welcome you guys. It's good to see you. All right. Well, let's get this show underway. No, Floyd, not a Taco Tuesday unless the conversation goes cold real early, which I don't expect it to. I got plenty to cover, I feel like, but we'll see. I haven't had a chance to wrap my brain around much today. That's all. I've grabbed a bunch of stuff. I've looked at some of it. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But I think we'll make it through. And like I said, we're probably only going to do about an hour and a half today because I've got a bunch of things to get into. Norm, Hang 10 out there. Good to see you. Maxinon, what's up, Max? How are you? Good to see you out there. All right, I'm going to start the intro. Oh, yeah, it's Maxinon's birthday. Happy birthday, Max. Hope it's been awesome so far. And I hear you're also or were at least anyway, a big Streetlight Manifesto fan. So rock on. It's one of my favorite bands. Don't meet a lot of the Streetlight people out there too often. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, we're gonna start the show. We'll be back in a few minutes.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be evicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong, stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adol Nero is the power that's controlling the fight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they can find. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only incentivized to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful, then you're gone. But not us, we're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for being here, hanging out with us for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. It is Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. My name is Adol Nero, and this will be, like I said at the very beginning, our final show of the week here on 412 Productions, as I am going to be taking the next few days off to go on a little bit of a vacation. So we're gonna wrap up the week here on a Tuesday. Helping me do that is my OG, Mr. Tennessee Homesteader, TN. Happy Tuesday, sir. How are you?
Happy Tuesday. Sorry I missed yesterday, but no, I'm back, and my sources, 315 Russ may have sources everywhere, but it's not where you have them, it's who you have them. I actually have a photo of the newly named acting director of the U.S. Secret Service.
Oh, you don't say. All right. We got a scoop here on 412 Production.
Hot off the press. We couldn't get one with the flag behind it, but I'm sure we'll find it sooner or later as the official.
That's great. That's fantastic. Good stuff, TN. Good stuff, man. Well, yeah, it's great to have you aboard as always. Real fast here, we got Tweak already dropping all kind of goodies in the chat for you guys. At least 5 1-month bronze tier subscriptions, maybe more. I lost count as they were flying up the screen. But Tweak, thank you as always for the big generosity, hooking up much of the live chat with the subscriptions there. Dread Quarters says, have a great vacation, Adel. I will. Thank you so much. I'll take lots of pictures. We're going to be doing Red Rocks for a couple nights for the show, and then planning out hikes all over the Boulder area, and who knows, maybe some other places too. So I'll make sure I take lots of pictures and come back ready to share with you guys. Trump Red Pill 1, thank you for the cookie. Says, yeah, 412. Thank you for that. And Drunk Pinata just jumping in here. What's up, Pinata? How are you, buddy?
Just thinking about how I've been unburdened by what has been, or was that yesterday, which is tomorrow, today.
With the passages of time.
I don't know. I'm getting all of my word salad jumbled up. My brain is turning into Kamala mush.
Oh no. That's not good. That's not good.
No. That may get you elected in the Democrat Party.
I'll get you.
Oh man, it's hilarious.
I don't think they elect people to the Democrat Party these days.
No, they don't.
Okay. Selected.
There you go.
Man, I might get you selected. Go ahead, sorry.
Just the talking points that have gone out. Oh, Donald Trump is afraid of Kamala Harris. It's the worst nightmare. And another way they're framing it is like, can you believe that Donald Trump spent all his time campaigning against Biden? Yeah, he was the nominee, and so now they're literally trying to frame it in a way that he should have known that Joe was going to drop out. And how stupid is their campaign? How stupid is Trump for spending all that time and then now complaining about it? Like that's not going to work. And they're all saying like, oh look at this, look at all these scores of millions of dollars from these Act Blue donations. This is real groundswell of a grassroots support. No, it's not. And come on, are you telling me that they're really going to go with the fact that we know that they say that Joe Biden got 81 million votes and that overnight Kamala gets $81 million? Like, come on, just go ahead and tell us you're going to steal it. We already know you are. I mean, that's clear. It's clearly trying to send a message of like, we plan on trying to rig it.
I'm old enough to remember the James O'Keefe video of how those Act Blue donations actually happened.
Right.
We got that queued up. If we want to revisit it today, we can.
5,200 names from random generators, the phone book.
Money laundering at its finest. And yeah, I've got videos on polls as well. They are 100% trying to use this to reset the narrative around the election, to start the gaslighting and astroturfing of the possibility that
talk about a breakneck 180.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Biden, the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's fine. He's perfectly good. He's great. Look at him sprite, Oh, nope, he's gone. It's Kamala.
What a joke.
And
it's like you were asleep or you were awake and you went to sleep, because it's the direct opposite.
It's really telling that she spoke before Biden has spoke publicly. And I'm wondering, is he even alive?
Well, supposedly it's gonna address the nation
Yeah,
tomorrow, so we'll see.
yeah. Instantaneously, I put out a Truth social post that had the image of the Maxell tape. Is it live or is it Memorex? Remember
Yeah,
the guy sitting on the couch, right?
yeah.
And
Oh, speaking of which, before we get to that, so I wanted to hip you guys up to this because I was worried. I was worried. I just don't want us to go with something that's not real. So there's like this AI thing going around uh,
Kosovic.
with this guy here. However, this other guy did the same thing and he fed it back in, and it was 2%. So either they went through and they've changed it after it went viral, but the point is that we don't know.
I I ignored that just because he's supposed to address the nation tomorrow,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if he actually shows his face or
Now,
not.
would they use AI? Yes, these people will do anything. But as far as it's not, I just noticed that there's conflicting information on that. So let's not run with it and make ourselves look dumb if we're
Right.
wrong.
No, that's why I put it as a meme. Is it live or is it Memorex?
This is what we've come to. Old Salty Dog, thank you for the ship. Super generous. Says Drunk Pinata is burdened by yesterday's tomorrow today. Uh, right. Tweak gifting more
That's cool.
1 month subscriptions out there. Thank you so much, Tweak. And then I think there was somebody else too. Cynthia says vacation donation. Have a great time. Thank you so much for the can. I really appreciate that. CB Joey gifted a couple 1 month subscriptions, 3 of them, 4 of them. 5 of them. Thank you, CB Joey. Really appreciate that. You guys have been on fire. We're just getting started here. Boys Blancs has bought a 2025 GMC Denali Ultimatum today for my boy Human 3 months to build. Nice. Is that like a model or something? Denali Ultimatum today for my boy Human 3 months to build. I'm kind of confused by that, to be honest. CK Whitehorse, thank you for the cookie. And I think that's everybody. I wanted to get through those because otherwise they were going to get a bit overwhelming. So, and then Matt1776 says, today is tomorrow, which is yesterday's today, unburdened by what has been. Are we all just gonna do the show in like Kamala isms for the rest of the day here? Because
Well,
Well, maybe, but not all of us fell out of coconut trees.
I arrived on the yellow school bus. Do you like school bus? I like school buses.
Speaking of which, Tian and I had a long debate over whether or not Joe Biden would be the nominee. We went back and forth. I said it was definitely going to be Joe Biden. Tian Homesteader said it would not be. So I feel like I need to play this. Tian, I had this made specifically for you, buddy. You win.
I'm stupid. You're smart. I was wrong. You were right. You're the best. I'm the worst. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive.
All right. As long as you're willing to admit that now.
That's good.
I thought you
Okay, that wherever that is, better be a link on ROG.
Nope. I'll never need to use it again. So that's it. You get the
That's good. Okay, replay it, and it's a clip.
No, I'll send you the file. And shout out to the lovely microphone Maven for
Maven did work on it. Oh, excellent.
yeah, I sent her the clip. I was like, I need you to make this. I need you to put my face over Adam Sandler's and TN's logo over Chubb's. I lost.
That was good.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. All right, let's take care of our sponsors, and then we'll go from there. And our one and only sponsor today is Earth Garden Botanicals. EarthGardenBotanicals.com, run by our friend Jolene up in Montana. She's amazing. She makes these amazing wellness products like the CBD oil tinctures and all the other CBD products. All the ingredients are locally and organically grown. Amazing stuff. The flavors on the tinctures are fantastic. Flavors like orange ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, cherry, peppermint. They're all so good. Even the unflavored is very tasty. You got your CBD oil for pets, which is awesome. The R&R Delta 8 nighttime gummies to help you get a good night's sleep. And of course, the arnica salve for your sore joints and muscles is a topical cream with or without CBD infused, depending on what your preference is there. You got elderberry tonic to help boost your immune system, fire cider to clear your sinuses, and of course, the critter juice, keeping the insects and mosquitoes away. Love the critter juice, all natural insect repellent. Go to earthgardenbotanicals.com. Use promo code 412 to get 10% off all of these amazing products. Everything you see here in the store with that promo code. So again, that's earthgardenbotanicals.com. Promo code 412 at checkout for your 10% discount. So again, thank you to everyone out there who continues to support our sponsor, Earth Garden Botanicals. Where do you want to start, guys? Do you want to start with the Biden stepping down and Kamala stepping in, or do you want to start with stuff around the assassination, the resignation of Director Cheeto? Where do Tien? You weren't here yesterday, so I know you're probably chomping at the bit for both of these topics. Do you have a preference, Tien?
No, actually not, because all three of them are intercept, really, right? Let's not forget the whole aspect that what was the whole thing about bringing Sheila Jackson Lee into the picture?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's kind of weird, right? And having her pass on the 19th.
Yeah, it was super strange.
So, yeah, all of that is, take your pick. It's all going to lead to the same place.
All right. Well, I had the news of Director Cheadle resigning up first, so we'll start there and just kind of see where the conversation goes. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle resigns. So Kimberly Cheadle, the director of the U.S. Secret Service, resigned on July 23rd. Quote, "I take full responsibility for the security lapse," she said in the email to Secret Service staff. "In light of recent events, it is with a heavy heart that I have made the difficult decision to step down as your director." Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas soon after said he was appointing Ronald Rowe, the service's deputy director, to serve as acting director. Ms. Cheadle, who was sworn in as director in 2022, had previously rebuffed calls to resign in the wake of the assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. Quote, "I think I am the best person to lead the Secret Service at this time," she said on Capitol Hill Monday. The former president, blah, blah, blah. And I'll leave that there. And I'll just say that it was interesting to see this happen after that hearing yesterday. She was scorched by Democrats and Republicans alike. Even AOC was giving her the business over this assassination attempt, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now, a lot of the Democrats, of course, turned it into a commercial for gun control at the same time. But some of them actually did legitimately seem indignant over the lapse in security. They actually did seem annoyed that they weren't getting answers. Now, the reason they were annoyed was more than likely because the lack of answers leads to speculation and the idea of a larger conspiracy, allowing that to grow. What they were saying is, why haven't you figured out how to cover this up yet, or to explain away all this?
The confirmation of a conspiracy, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you could tell. That's kind of why they were more annoyed about the lack of answers. But either way, the optics of it on a surface level were absolutely horrendous for Cheadle. It was one of the worst hearings I had ever seen. We talked about it yesterday. It was like a stone wall. She was literally just sitting there like a stone wall, basically answering nothing. She looked unprepared, uncooperative, arrogant, and she inspired very little faith, and no surprise to me at all that she has stepped down. So I don't know if you have Tien or Pinata any initial thoughts on her resignation, but I think that's
It was inevitable because I mean the optics are horrible, and it points to Biden and Kamala. And then, as Bongino said, I think it was on 17th, he said that they just don't need another headache of her and her. Earlier, though, I watched another portion that because Bongino's getting sources from inside the Secret Service, and he actually made a comment on the show that I saw. I can't remember which date it was, the beginning of it, where he basically says to the media, he says, "These people aren't going to you because they don't trust you. They're coming to me. I wish one of you would ask proper questions to the media," that kind of deal, right? Anyways, his inside sources say that she was told to shut up if she wanted to keep her job. And that was by Mayorkas and Biden. That's what Bongino was told from a Secret Service insider.
You think, Tien, that she got fired then because she let it slip? The only thing that she let slip was towards the end of the hearing. You had to watch it to one of the final couple of Republicans that were asking questions, but she let it slip that she did indeed have encrypted communications on her personal phone. And she used those to communicate, I believe, with other government officials or something like that. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was Stonewall, 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 Stonewall. And then all of a sudden, I felt like it was like this bombshell moment that got kind of brushed over. Do you think that's what did her in?
More than likely, because that's a big well, okay, where are they? Because at that point, it'll lead to either they exist, or if they don't exist, why don't they exist, and non infinitum.
Yeah.
It leads to another branch of the rabbit trail, and I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean that in the discovery of goodies.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that was extremely interesting, and I see Maven in the chat. Maven, we played.
Thank you, Maven.
Yeah, we played the meme, and we got a good laugh out of it. So thank you
Very good
for making that. I have a feeling it's not going to be the last time I need it, so we'll keep it ready. Anyway,
that was clever.
here's Donald Trump's response to that on Truth Social to her resigning. He says, "The Biden-Harris administration did not properly protect me, and I was forced to take a bullet for democracy. It was my great honor to do so." He just, no matter what, this man never stops trolling. He never stops trolling, and I love him for it. That's a hilarious response to a very dark, serious situation. All right, so I want to play some clips here. J.D. Vance and President Trump did an interview with Jesse Waters, and there's 3 clips that the Gateway Pundit highlighted. They're all very good. The first one's a bit longer, but we're gonna listen to all of these because I feel like there's just a lot of good stuff in here. So this one says Biden said to Trump on the phone call, "You're lucky you turned your head to the right," but there's so much more here to listen to. So we'll start with this one.
Mr. President, Senator, I don't know what we have to talk about. It's been pretty boring. Why did you pick J.D. Vance?
We've always had a good chemistry, and originally J.D. was probably not for me, but he didn't know me. And then when we got to know each other, he liked me maybe more than anybody liked me, and he would stick up for me, and he'd fight for the worker as much as I fight for the worker. We just had an automatic chemistry. And I actually endorsed him in Ohio for the Senate, and he ended up winning against a very tough field. And he wrote a book which was a classic, as you know, and it was all about the working men and women and how they aren't being treated fairly, and he was right about that, and I understood that maybe better than anyone else. And we just have had a great relationship. And he had serious competition. We had tremendous people, all of them, every one of them.
You beat out a lot of very important people.
Very impressive people.
When you got the call and found out, what did your wife say?
Well, he asked to speak to my wife, actually, which I was very appreciative of, and so was she. But she was just kind of flabbergasted. I think that going into it, we had no idea really what was going on, whether he would pick me or Marco Rubio, great guy, Doug Burgum, great guy, and a lot of other good people. But when the president called me, I don't know if you remember this, sir, but my kid was talking in the background about Pokemon cards. I'm like, oh, for the love of God, 7-year-old kid, if you've ever been quiet, be quiet now. And the president's like, put him on speakerphone. And so you read off the truth that was at the actual announcement that he was nominating me to be vice president. And he says, what do you think about that? And my son goes, oh, it's good. It's good.
It's the endorsement.
He likes your truth. That's the endorsement that mattered, actually, was from my 7-year-old. But it's been a wild ride, and we're having a good time, and we're going to win. That's the most important thing.
How's your ear?
Good. Getting much better. We're getting down to the small bandages. But it was a nasty one, and it was a nasty period. That was exactly 1 week ago from today, exactly. And, when you think about it, that's been a lot of territory covered. Who would have thought this was going to be happening? But it happened, and I got very lucky. Or God. I think it was God, actually.
You know who said it was not God? Ron Johnson, senator from Wisconsin, said he gave you that chart of illegal immigration.
Well, he's right about that. He actually gave me the chart. If I didn't have that chart, I wouldn't have looked to the right. If I didn't look to the right, a very bad thing would have happened. I wouldn't have been at the convention. I can just about guarantee it.
That's right.
Now,
where were you when Butler happened?
I was actually playing mini golf with my kids, hoping that he would call me and offer me the vice presidential slot. And, what happened, and I told my kids, I said, we got to get out of here. The president's been shot. And, of course, we didn't know if the president was okay or not at that point. And my son said, Daddy, is it the president who's your friend or the president you don't like? And I said, it's the president who's my friend. And he said, okay, I'm sorry about that. And it was a very sweet moment. And I think we were all just so grateful the president was okay.
So the ear's better. You have the smaller bandage on. Yeah. Have you asked to see the wound?
I have not, no. I won't, though I do find it hysterical, Jesse. You have these people who are like, why is the president wearing an ear bandage? He got shot in the ear, and these are the same people who are wearing masks, right, 5 years after COVID, so it's pretty ridiculous.
When you were down by the podium, we heard a lot of kerfuffle. You said something about shoes.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, they wanted to put me on a stretcher. They had a stretcher, and they wanted to put me on a stretcher, and I said, I'm not going on a stretcher, because I just felt it was the ear, and there was a lot of blood coming. I don't know if you've heard this, but the ear causes, they say, the most in the body. You get hit in the ear. Better than just about any other place in one way, but in another way it bleeds more. And there was a lot of blood, but I understood. They thought I was hit elsewhere. They thought I was hit actually in this area. And I wasn't. I said, I'm telling you, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm going to get up. I want to get up. I'm not going to be taken out on a stretcher. We had a little argument. Well, I have 6 guys lying on top of me. I mean, I had some big guys on top of me.
Yeah.
Strong guys, too. I can tell you that by the wrist. The wrist had a little work on it. And brave guys, because they ran onto that stage very quickly. I was down for the most part, because when I looked at my hand, I knew it was something very serious. I put my hand up, I looked at it, it had blood all over it. But I had a lot of big, strong humans on top of me, and they were very brave humans, because they were running into fire, and he kept going. He probably thought he hit, but it hit the ear. And when I saw that, I got down pretty quickly, I think. I also think people were starting to shout. It's one of the reasons I was able to go down so fast, because it almost is amazing that move of checking here and going almost immediately down. I think so probably people were shouting at the same time. Who knows? It was bedlam. And I was down, and I said, let's get going. Come on, let's go. And the shooting had stopped, so I assumed they probably got him. They did get him. I believe they got him with one shot from an unbelievable shot. Now, if he would have done it earlier, maybe doing it early is hard, because it's hard to shoot somebody when you're not 100% sure. But they got him. And had they not gotten him, it could have been a lot worse situation. But 2 great men were very badly hurt. I've gotten to know them, and one, Corey, was, as you know, killed. And you could have had he could have had a lot more than that if he didn't. But so they took him out. So now we're getting up. I said, I'm not lying on the stretch. I'm not going to do that. So I forced my way up. And once I was up, I realized, because I looked, everybody was stunned. We had thousands and thousands of people. A good group in the back, but they were great. It was just like a backdrop. And nobody stampeded. Nobody ran. Usually when they hear a shot, if you go to any where people that do this for a living, it's called crowds. And they said when a bullet goes off, everybody starts running for the exits. Nobody ran, including the thousands, tens of thousands of people were in front. Mm-hmm. And nobody ran. And nobody ran in back. The back was like a sample of it. And you had one man, and the man dressed in black. They were all becoming famous people, with a black hat. And he's looking like this. He's standing up. Where are they? And he starts pointing. This man had no fear, and none of them did. And the women were incredible. Some went down, for a little cover, but nobody ran. And everyone that went down came up.
Yeah.
And they thought I was in trouble. They were right, but they thought I was in trouble because they saw the blood immediately because it was over here.
And sir, the media always slanders these crowds as, MAGA extremists, and of course they slander the president too. And it really is, I think, a testament to the movement, how calmly people responded to it. That's definitely the thing I took away most from it.
Yeah, it was amazing, but it was love too. It just
absolutely.
They didn't move, but when I came up, they saw me come up. And they thought it was over. They thought it was over when I went down because they saw the blood immediately. And then when I put the hand up, everybody was happy. That was the time. That was when they realized I was okay. And it's just an incredible country. It was a beautiful moment.
Joe Biden called you after this guy tried to take your life. How'd that conversation go?
It was good. It was a nice conversation. He said, "You're lucky you turned to the right." So it was, obviously somebody briefed him. But he did say that to me. He said, "You're lucky you turned to the right." I said, "I think so."
This country would be lucky if it turned to the right.
Well, I guess maybe, certainly to a certain extent it would. Wouldn't it be nice?
So interesting little tidbits there. It's always interesting for me to hear Donald Trump rehash the events of that day. The first person accounting, of how a lot of that went down. So I thought that was worth playing. There's another clip here I want to play as well from the same interview. This one is much shorter, but this is him talking more about his theory kind of on what happened, I guess you could say. I don't know. Take a listen.
It was a pot shot. Are you at all suspicious he had help?
Well, you just don't know. It doesn't look like it, does it? But now we're finding out that he had some encrypted phone numbers and to foreign countries, which a little bit surprises me. When you look at him, he was somebody that was bullied in school, and, you hear all different stories. I would say probably he was a loner, but you don't know that. They have to check out the phone numbers. They have to check out the phone. I think they were able to break into his phone. I would hope so. For a crime like this, you have to be able to break into a phone, because they pride themselves on not allowing people to break in, and government can't get in. Apple can let you in. So I don't know exactly what happened, but assassination is big stuff, and you have to get to it. So we'll see what happens, but it just shouldn't have been when you have essentially a flat, open roof like that, and it's direct to the target with absolutely nothing in its way. How can somebody be up there? And he was up there for a long period of time because they have tape of him moving all over the place, and then they see him and they don't report him. Who was the policeman, or I guess it was local police, who looked at him, saw him standing with a gun? I think the guy saw him, and this guy dropped off the roof. And I don't blame him for that. What I do blame him for is why isn't he calling everybody, screaming and say, "There's a guy with a gun up there"? What did he do when he dropped off the roof? Did he just go away and say, like, nothing? That's a big factor. Who was he? And why did he do that? Why didn't we know about that? Because I would have, oftentimes, based on weather and based on other things, they'd say, sir, would you wait 10 minutes before you go out, please? We never had a case like this. But certainly if they said, would you wait 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes because we have a possible problem, unlikely but possible, I wish somebody would have done that, because Corey would be alive and 2 people that were seriously hurt would not be hurt. And we wouldn't have had all of the things that we've gone through over the last period of time.
And, sir, I think it illustrates something that's so different about the Trump administration versus the Biden administration. Is, look, screw-ups sometimes happen, even very big screw-ups. But it's the responsibility of leaders to stand before the country and say, all right, we screwed up. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to answer questions and do it in public. I think that the fact that there's been no transparency here is what makes a lot of us say, well, what the hell happened, and why, are we actually taking steps to ensure it doesn't happen again?
If you're elected, you can declassify the assassination attempt files. You could clear things up like that. You'll do that, right?
I would, yeah, sure. There should be nothing to hide here.
It's his decision.
I think, frankly, but I think, frankly, many things are known right now. But some of the things that are known are bad. How did somebody get on that roof, and why wasn't he reported? Because people saw that he was on the roof. I mean, you had Trumpers screaming. The woman in the red shirt, she was screaming, "There's a man on the roof!" And then other people said, "There's a man on the roof who's got a gun," and that was quite a bit before I walked onto the stage. So you would have thought somebody would have done something about it.
All right, so let's break that apart a little bit, because at one point he says it seems like he's a loner, like it's a lone gunman, but then he brings up all this stuff that doesn't make any sense for a lone gunman: the encrypted phone, the calls to foreign whatever. How could this happen? Why wasn't I warned ahead of time? It's like he says it, you could tell he doesn't really believe it, but he also doesn't want to kick the hornet's nest and be accused of inciting or feeding into quote unquote conspiracy theories. So I found the way he handled that to be, I think, pretty good. I don't think that Donald Trump, and I think we talked about this before, I don't think Donald Trump should be the one leading that narrative of it being an inside job coordinated against him. I think that's for people like us to do, people in Congress to do, people in the independent media and research communities to pick it apart and do that. Donald Trump has got a lot of political capital, and let's just, sympathy, I guess, for what happened. And I feel like if he were to go down that road himself too aggressively, it would undo a lot of that. So I think he's smart to kind of, well, yeah, I mean, it seems like he could be acting alone, but there's all these weird things around it. I don't know. We just need to figure it out. I think he handled that pretty perfectly. What do you guys think?
Yeah, because, okay, so not everybody, first of all, there wasn't all Secret Service that was there. Secret Service has overarching responsibility, but they don't perform all the tasks. And then you have to say, was everybody that was Secret Service in on it, or were there some people just doing their job that they weren't involved with? Mm-hmm. Or even those agents that came from other sources, were they even involved, or were they just doing the job that they, as well as they knew it, so to speak, right? So there's a lot and so he played it well, in my opinion, too, because if there are good people that may become whistleblowers, that may be insiders to provide info, you don't want to alienate them.
Right, yeah.
And when you really look at the facts, all the things that are out there make it incredible that he didn't have help by allowing it to happen or whatnot. But there's always that doubt because there's no smoking gun evidence that says this person made the call, this person orchestrated this, etc., right? Mm-hmm. That kind of deal is not there. And that's where a conspiracy comes in. That's the whole point of a conspiracy, a true conspiracy. So, and it certainly does look like a true conspiracy when you look at all the ancillary things that are going around within the Democrat Party and the entire election, of which was the focus of the assassination attempt. Biden drops out, and not to change the subject, but looking at it in a bigger picture, Biden drops out under health conditions. Is he going to have all of a sudden a case that he cannot be tried because he's too old and feeble? You see where we're headed now, and now you have an aspect of an avenue being opened up in the Democrat Party. So this whole thing has to be looked at in a much broader, playing field, if you will. And I'm thinking that Trump has to play it the way he did, because otherwise he's letting the cat out of the bag if he knows more than he does.
I agree. I completely agree. I got one more short clip here from the interview I think is worth listening to. We'll do that, and then we'll get into a few other things around the topic.
She came to see me, actually. And, it went...
He's talking about Kim Cheeto.
Very nicely. She was very nice, I thought. But, somebody should have made sure there was nobody on that roof. That roof was a dead aim right onto the stage. And they said they didn't have the manpower for it, which is crazy. 130 yards is like sinking a 1-foot putt. It's considered really close.
Absolutely right.
It sounds like a lot, but it's really, from that standpoint, it's it's very close. And I was surprised by that, actually. They said it's a bad shot would usually hit the target. And it's got to be, somebody's got to be there. And it's essentially a flat roof. I noticed that she said, well, this is a slope roof. Well, you think of like a barn where you have this thing had just a little upswing in it, a few degrees. This was essentially was a flat roof. So I don't know, somebody gave her false information when she talked about the slope of the roof. I thought she was very nice, but you have to answer why couldn't I have stayed off the stage for 5 minutes while they do their work? Why couldn't, how does a situation happen where a roof that's plainly in sight from the location where I was speaking, why would somebody not have seen that?
You were briefed, your office was briefed by Cheadle. Are you satisfied with this situation?
No.
And do you feel safe with Cheadle running the Secret Service?
Look, I think clearly she needs to be more forthcoming. She needs to actually sit before people, answer all their questions, and let people know what happened. When you try to hide information and hide from question asking, that's, I think, what leads people to believe that there's something to be hidden from.
Well, no kidding. So anyway, those are the clips there. But again, Donald Trump not saying anything incendiary, but still asking the right questions, bringing up the right things.
How Q-ish of him.
What?
How Q-ish of him.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So the interesting thing that today, again, I was just doing some surfing, catching up, and Bongino's opening line is that it's now surfaced that the roof was supposed to be covered by locals, and they opted not to go on the roof. They opted to go on the second-story window. Still begs the question, why wasn't the kid seen climbing and being on the roof, number one. Number two, and this is what he asked, that Secret Service has oversight to begin with of the whole thing. You're telling me that nobody saw there was nobody on the roof when there was supposed to be somebody assigned to the roof.
Yep. It defies credulity that
Right. So it's all those little things that just don't make sense, particularly with the touted premier presidential detail is like the top of the line in the Secret Service. Mm-hmm. Aside of the Treasury stuff, right? Because the people may not know that the real job of the Secret Service is not presidential detail. The real job of the Secret Service is the enforcement arm of the Treasury Department.
Yeah,
that's their primary job. So, this whole thing is kind of begs a boatload of questions, and that's what they can't have. And Vance said it correctly. The more questions that are not answered, the more speculation or people will fill in the gaps, right or wrong. Some of them may be right, some of them may be wild ass wrong, but all it takes is somebody to hit the right one and it catches on. theory, I mean, right?
Yeah.
So
Filter Dog just sent me a tweet or a X post, whatever, from Josh Hawley. It says, whistleblowers tell me law enforcement personnel were in fact stationed on the roof the day of the Trump rally, but abandoned it, citing the heat. They also say law enforcement were supposed to be patrolling the building, but opted to stay inside instead. Again, I'm just not buying these explanations or these
well,
all.
it's still the whole point is that if the cops did what Holly is saying they did it without knowledge of the Secret Service. And again, nobody from the Secret Service saw there was nobody stationed on the roof. That's the whole point. It doesn't take an entire detail to monitor people in their places when you're looking at security layer that requires people being in their places.
Yep. No, it's
and I think Bongino even said that it's going to come out that the only reason why they didn't shoot first is because it was supposed to be a team there and they didn't know if it was friendly or not.
Oh man, that just seems so crazy to me.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, I'm not saying that's what it is,
And
but
here's
sometimes
why
like
I don't
a
believe
colossal
it.
set of fuck ups can be leveraged or can be exploited or can just happen.
Here's why I don't believe it is because we've gotten too many different explanations now from official sources.
True that.
Why there wasn't anybody on the roof. It was the heat. It was a sloped roof. It was supposed to be local law enforcement. Well, we actually decided to cover it from a window. The story has already changed too many times.
True that.
Sorry, you're full of shit. When you have to tell me 3 different stories within 48 hours of it happening as to why the fuck up happened, it means it was an intentional fuck up, and you haven't figured out what story you're going to tell the American people yet. So the assassination attempt was far better coordinated than the explanation for how it was allowed to happen afterwards. Well,
you know what they say, the cover up's worse than the crime.
I mean, this is, again, had they come out with that to begin with, all right, and they stuck to one story, then there's at least some plausible, maybe, just maybe, the kid managed to get up there. They took their eye off it for a minute and they thought it was a friendly. But the second they came out with the sloped roof thing, you knew it. You knew this was coordinated. In that moment, when they gave you such an asinine reason, it's like the magic bullet theory with the JFK. Yeah, I mean, he just managed to shoot 3 times accurately in the time that nobody else would be able to do with that gun. And one of the bullets changed directions midair. Like, that's just deal with it.
And landed on the gurney, pristine.
Just that, yeah, it's that level. You have to suspend disbelief at that level, when they come out and say the slope of the roof.
That might have been the one that kicked.
But meanwhile, there are pictures of a counter sniper on a roof that has 3 times the pitch with no problem. The fact that was what they went to first tells you that you can't believe a motherfucking thing that you hear from these people after that.
That might be what got her fired. That one comment. The other one, letting the cat out of the bag, the aspect of the secret comms. Yeah, okay. That may be too. It might be an additional, but for her to turn around and use the slope theory as the reason did her under. Because of all the things she would not answer or obfuscated or danced around, that's the one she answered, and was something that nobody can believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just unreal. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to our halfway break. Like I said, we're probably going to wrap up a bit early today, as I have just a lot of stuff to do before I leave tomorrow. So I'm gonna give myself a little extra time. But we are going to go exclusively to pilled.net at this point in the show. You're not going to want to miss the second half. We're going to get into a lot of stuff around the bait and switch that these defenders of democracy on the left have pulled on their constituents and voters. So I'm looking forward to getting into the Kamala conversation. Cackling Kamala. I cannot believe this is where we are right now. So we're going to talk more about that. I've got poll numbers, some funny videos to play, and just a large overall discussion around the giant bait and switch that the Democrats have pulled. That'll be available exclusively on pilled.net. That's where we're going to be going here for the next hour. The link is in the video description underneath Rumble or in the Rumble live chat. I just put it there, putting it in the D live chat as well. So please come on over to pilled.net and join us for hour number 2. You can simply go to pilled.net on your browser as well and find us at 412 Productions. Going to go ahead and play this video. We'll be right back.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right. Again, thank you guys so much, all of you who have jumped over from one of the other platforms to continue hanging out with us for hour number 2. I really appreciate all you guys who do that. If you're not going to keep hanging out with us today, no worries. I'll be back on Monday. This is the last show of the week here on 412 Productions. I am leaving for Colorado in the morning. Going to go enjoy a couple of shows at Red Rocks and then do some hiking throughout the weekend. And then I'll be back on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time to kick off next week with you guys. So that is that's the plan here. But we have one more hour to go over on pilled.net. So you can come join us over there. Again, just type pilled.net into your browser. Find us at 412 Productions over there. I've also got links in the description, the live chat on Rumble, description and in the live chat on Rumble and on the live chat on D Live. So I hope you guys will continue hanging out with us. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week on Monday. Who knows what we'll be talking about then? The pace news is moving right now. It could be absolutely anything. So come on over to pilled.net or catch you guys next week.